Hey guys, I'm Evan. Welcome to Country View Solar. So today we're out here in the solar power room and my plan is to add some additional batteries. So right now I've got two of these wall mount batteries powering the 12,000 XP and this is powering my house. So right now in the wintertime, these two batteries do not last all night long. But on a sunny day, they actually do get fully charged by about noon. So that means the second half of the day I'm not using or utilizing all of my solar. It's getting clipped. So I should be able to add two more of these wall mount batteries, and on a sunny day in the wintertime it should be able to fully charge the battery bank. But in the summertime the nights will be shorter, the days will be longer. I would be able to even charge more than just four of these wall mount batteries. So I want to be able to have the ability to fit as many batteries in this room as I can. So as we look at this room, we've got space below this wiring trough here, but the problem is this wiring trough is actually lower than this battery. And if I would have known this beforehand, I would have probably mounted this trough probably 6-8 inches higher. That way I did have space underneath it for batteries. So now this is just going to be unused space. So as we look at the opposite wall, we've got a space for two wall mount batteries down here, but we have all this space up high and there's enough room to mount batteries up here. So I could put two wall mount batteries up here if I wanted to. And then I've got this additional space where it could be a battery, but it could also be a second 12,000 XP. I could also maybe put in a junction box for all these battery cables to tie in, like a DC junction box. So I'm not going to do anything with this space right now. I just want to leave all these options open. So I want to focus on this wall right here. Now I could easily put two wall mount batteries on the floor, but then if I wanted to add any up here later, I think that would be more difficult with a big battery in the way. So what I want to do is I want to try to put my batteries right here on top of each other. We're going to mount the top one first, and then afterwards we'll mount the bottom one. And then after that, I may end up adding a third battery, maybe even a fourth battery in here. I'm going to try to see how many I can fit in this little room. So one of these wall mount batteries mounts to the wall on one of these brackets. Now most of the time, it's just kind of sitting on the bracket. It's kind of holding it in place because like these batteries, they're sitting on the concrete and the concrete's taking the weight. But in this case, I'm going to hang a battery up high, so the wall is going to take the weight, and it's going to be close to 300 pounds worth of weight. So we got to make sure that it is supported properly. Now, these mounting holes, the cool thing about these mounting holes is they are, the outer ones are 16 inches apart. Now that's the exact same spacing as what a normal stud is in the wall away from each other, 16 inches on center. And the stud spacing in this wall has worked out perfectly. I didn't plan it this way, but for this first set of batteries, it is in the perfect spot. So when I put this on the wall right over where the studs are, I can get lag screws in the left and the right hand side into a stud to support it. And it is in a spot where it's not in front of this battery, it's just to the side of this battery, so it's not blocking anything. And the only thing I'm missing is the two center screws. So my plan is I'm going to put an additional stud in here, so there's three studs. They're 8 inches apart from each other. And then I will be able to fully lag screw this into the wall, and it should be able to support the battery because these studs will directly transfer that weight right down to the concrete floor. And I think it's going to work out good. Now luckily I still have access to the back side of this wall. These two studs right here, these are the ones that I'm going to mount the mounting bracket onto. So all I got to do is add a third stud right here in the middle, and then the bracket will be fully supported by three studs. Most people aren't going to have to be able to access the back of the wall like this and be able to do it. I'm kind of in a lucky situation where this room isn't finished, and this is really what's making this possible, is being able to get in here and add the extra support needed. All right, got the stud in the wall. all mounted. So now to the point of trying to lift the battery and set it up here on the bracket. Obviously you're not going to do that by hand, you're going to have some type of equipment. So I've got two pieces of equipment here to help me out. Hopefully it's going to work. Alright, I got the battery on this lift cart. Hopefully it'll lift it high enough. So right now I got the battery sitting on a hydraulic lift cart. This cart sits about 10 inches off the ground, so that was too high for me to be able to lift it on here. So that's why I used the mini skid steer, pick it up, get it into this room, and then set it on the cart. Now, this cart lifts fairly high. At least 50 inches, I'm not 100% sure how high, and it can lift 500 pounds, I believe. So now the trick is to see if we can actually get it up there on the bracket. Oh, I think that's as far as it goes. Oh no. I'm like about 1.5 inches away from making it, so about the thickness of a 2x4. So we may have to put something under here to just lift it up just a little bit more on this cart. I gotta see if I get this 2x4 under these feet. Alright, so on 2x4s. That seems to be maximum lift right there. Oh, we're in. Haha. Now, I'm going to just slowly let this down. Oh, it's on the bracket. I can move the boards now. The weight is on the wall. Go ahead and lower it the rest of the way. Alright, she's on there. So now I just got to figure out how I'm going to run conduit between this battery and this battery and that battery. Well, I've got a few 2-inch PVC fittings, but I don't have enough to be able to tie everything together. So it's about 4 hours later. I ended up going and getting the conduit fittings that I needed. So I've got the conduit complete. I've got the wiring complete, at least for these first two batteries. So as we look at this, you can see I've got a conduit going between these two batteries here, and then I've got a 2-inch conduit connecting these two batteries. And the way this is wired up is the battery cables and communication cables wire from this battery to this one, and then it wires from this battery to this one. And then this is battery address number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I don't have this wired precisely by the book, but if you go to EG4's website, and if you go to the 12,000 XP page, or go to one of these wall mount batteries, toward the bottom of the page there should be a selection that says wiring diagrams. And one of those diagrams is going to be the battery wiring. And it shows wiring up to 6 of these wall mount batteries to like a 12,000 XP or to some other inverter. So I'm not exactly like the drawing shows. The drawing would show the inverter sitting on top of this battery, but it's very similar and it should work just fine. Now I've had some people ask me, how should you wire up 2 of these 12,000 XPs together in parallel? And I don't have 2 to be able to demonstrate that, but if you go to the same 12,000 XP page on EG4's website, down in the wiring diagrams, they will have wiring diagrams for the 12,000 XP. Several different ways to wire it up in different configurations, including multiple 12,000 XPs in parallel. Now I know when you go to Signature Solar's website and you purchase this, they'll have like the spec sheet and they will have the manual, but the additional wiring diagrams, which are very beneficial to anybody trying to wire up one of these systems, you got to go to EG4's website and look for them there. And there's several examples of how to wire this up. I wouldn't be surprised if there's like 20 different wiring diagrams on how to wire this up in different situations. So I went ahead and I did a quick charge on the battery, and now these are sitting basically at 100%, 99%. And these 2 batteries are fully charged. We're ready to go ahead and tie this system together. So I need to go ahead and land my battery cables in here. This black one to land. And then we gotta land our battery communication cable. And now I should be able to turn on the breaker. And then we should be able to power that one up. You can do the same here. Turn it on, power it up. All right, we're booted up. Our communication is for EG4. And the problem is, I got no blinky lights, so it doesn't seem to be communicating. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and reboot the main battery. Turn it back on. Hopefully that will reset communication and it will see all of the batteries this time. All right, I think that worked, because if we look at this battery now, we do have some blinking lights on the Ethernet cables. And now when I look at my EG4 app, it shows that I have 4 batteries in parallel. So it sees that they're all there. And it knows we have 1,120 hours of battery storage, which is equivalent of 57.2 kilowatt hours. So twice the capacity now. I guess we'll wait and see how this runs. I didn't have the time today to go ahead and add more batteries here, but I do have a game plan. So I've got another couple wall mount batteries. They're a different brand. They're not EG4. So we're gonna put one here on the floor, and then I'm gonna try to put one up here on the wall. And as soon as we get the next 2 batteries tied in, we'll go from around 57.2 kilowatt hours to somewhere over 80. And that will be sitting pretty good at that point in time. That'll be closer to like a day and a half, 2 days worth of power. I would really like to shoot for about 100 kilowatt hours of battery in here if I can fit it. I just don't have the space. I still have some space right here if we want to try to put a battery there at some point in time. And then I still have some space under there if I can find a short enough battery to fit in there. But we'll just have to wait and see how that turns out. But I think once we get the next 2 batteries, we'll be sitting pretty good. And I'm really happy with the way this whole room has turned out. All these batteries in here, they all match. They're all the same kind. Yeah, I think it looks good. So I'll go ahead and I'll let this system run just the way it is for a few days. I'll kind of get a feel for how well it charges in the wintertime and a sunny day. I'll kind of get an idea of how fast the batteries discharge or how long they last. And I need to order a couple things to probably finish out and add these next 2 batteries. But once I get all the parts, I'll go ahead and I'll put the next 2 batteries in, and then we'll just probably let this system run for a while and see how well it does. But I want to try to get it as close to off-grid as possible, and I've got to be getting pretty close. So I think that's going to be it for today's video, guys. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.